Hi everybody, welcome back to Sean's World. Today I'm going to be continuing my work in the cottage. So let's get started. So for everybody that see the previous video, when I installed the window, I didn't actually finish it off. So what I'm going to do today is get all my materials together, which I've got, and we're going to finish, or try to nearly finish the window off completely. So yeah, lots to do as usual, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Quick shake, safety glasses, gloves on, foam. It's not the best stuff in the world, but sometimes certain applications it pays to use it. I can't really get into the void there, so I'm just going to seal it up with that, and then I'm going to finish off with some lime mortar. That's certainly sealed it. It's a lot quieter. So once that is set hard, probably depending on your foam that you use, maybe 1 to 2 hours, maybe give it a light spray as well with some water. You can then cut it back with a Stanley knife to the level that you require. And yeah, then but make sure it has finished expanding, because if it hasn't and you fill it too soon, it'll just push it all out. Yeah, another couple of hours and we'll cut that back. Not too worried about this window for masking up, because I'm going to rub it down and give it an undercoat before I paint it, so not too bothered about the foam. The foam will just scratch off. Yeah, all in the preparation really. So while the foam is setting on the window, once it cures, then I can work it, cut it back. But until then, I think we're going next door into the barn. For those of you that have only just tuned in to this channel, the separating wall between the cottage, which I'm in now, which I'm renovating, and the barn virtually collapsed. I managed to do a footing and a retaining wall there to secure the wall, but now I've still got to work on the framework. So I'm going to go into the barn now. We're going to take a look at the timber work in there, and I've got to figure out how I'm going to support it the best way possible. So let's go and have a closer look in there. Okay, right, well, the wall's still up, which is a good sign. Now let's figure out this timber work. So basically what I need to do is come along here, across there, and then down that side again, just to create the H shape. And after hours of deliberation, careful planning, lots of pencils and paper, thought, you know what, I'm going to get the chainsaw out. Not bad. So here's the plan. This, well, not this particular timber, but a timber will go across here. And what I'm going to do is cut out a pocket into the vertical beam. So this one goes into it. I'm then going to put another one on the face of that one. And then down the other end, this timber will come into here. I'll put another timber below here and probably pick up on the underside as well. And then the stone wall that I'll do in lime will be built out on this sturdy retaining wall, and it will mimic the one next to it and just come up and pick the underside of these beams up. Like so. That's the plan. Now it's time to put it in action. Chainsaw time. So even though this beam looks like it's seen better days, which it has got some rot in it and a bit of woodworm. Put a nail in it though, different story, and you try and get one out. Oh, that was only in there about an inch. So I've just created a little guide so I don't cut out any more than necessary. So yeah, let's get cutting. It's like iron. Time for the chainsaw. Like a glove. So the dust has settled down a little bit now. Oh, it's really hot here today. Mustn't grumble though. Right, let's have a look at what we've done. Well, it didn't fall down, that's always a good start. Socket cut out, new one in, and then down the other end, what I plan to do, take the nail out. This piece will go underneath there. I'll probably return another one through the wall so it picks up the underside of this old cross piece. Maybe this new one as well. The vertical post was absolutely solid. It was, you know, it was like iron. You can see when I used my chisel. But the cross piece didn't fare so well. When the water sort of sits in that, it doesn't run off like it would do on a vertical piece. So that took the brunt of the weather. But never mind, we've got a new piece in now. It's only sort of the first ½ inch on that beam that was rotten. After that, it's quite solid. So not too concerned about that now, but I'll be a lot happier once I get this piece in. That bit's sitting on the shoulder of the old beam, so that's fine, but once this H section's in, I'm going to start doing the stonework underneath here, so it'll just carry the weight. So as I mentioned before, you know, I wasn't exaggerating when I said that, you know, this wall is near to total collapse. I could literally push out the infill with a stone, no problem. That'd then put extra pressure on this timber, which could snap. And if that snapped, obviously everything above it would come down. So now I've got to make sure I don't knock it down while I'm repairing it. So yeah, I'm going to do the same as I did that end. Put a piece of timber under here, I'm going to put another one sort of sideways on and cut a housing joint out to pick this timber up. It's just sort of making sure I support the new piece of timber whilst picking the old one up as well. So once I've done that, I'll start sourcing some stone, because there's stone everywhere now. Obviously start with the big boulders at the bottom and gradually taper it up, tie into each end. That's why I've done the nails, and then it should be, well, it will be nice and secure. But before I do that, I think I'm going to knock up a bucket of concrete and just put a nice base for the extra timber, piece of slate on top, stop the damp transferring up. Good progress. Cup of tea. So on a small application like this, I normally knock it up dry in the barrow and then mix up what I actually need in the bucket. That way that will last all day for as long as you want. If you add water to that and you only use a third of it, then you've got to find somewhere for it. So I'm just going to do a bucket at a time, and then I can find somewhere for that later on, maybe in the drive if I don't use it on the wall. So that's the method behind that. It's only a small amount. Right, I wore a mask as well, no dust. Right, let's go and have a sweep up inside now and get ready for this footing. So as an extra precaution, I put some slate down, stops the damp coming through, and it gives it a nice bed to sit on. Now I think it's getting a little dark in here, not because it's particularly overcast, but the shadows that are casting, so I think I'll go and set myself up a light. When I was viewing back over a few videos beforehand, some of it was a little bit dark. What do you think? Does it come across like that to you? Some of the detailing you couldn't see, so I mean I can see it perfectly clear, but once you video it, maybe not, so I think I'll go and get a light. Ta-da! Hopefully that's better. That's it. I can see all me mistakes now. Perfect. So to enable me to cut my timber in nice and accurate, I'll just use cardboard and scissors. Now it's much easier to mess about with this and get it right, and then you just simply transfer it straight down to your timber. Simple but effective. Now after that pro tip, I'm going to look silly, aren't I, if this don't fit? What do you reckon? Is it going to fit? What do you think? Just get one more piece of slate underneath. Let's call me assistant. I haven't got one. Now these are all the slate that are lying on the ground outside. They're slipping off this roof. As I previously mentioned, the roof has had it. Yeah, what happens, the clips that hold these in place, they rot if they're not stainless steel, and then the tiles just come tumbling down, so got to be a little bit careful out the front there. I've asked for a roofer to come give me a price to replace it all. Now he told me that a lot of the timbers need replacing, so I'm, you know, waiting for the quote basically for that. Hasn't come back to me yet. Maybe you don't want to do it, maybe I have to get someone else, but yeah, that's where the tiles are coming from. So that's the bottom part of the timber work all in place. Now I need to source some stone, get some lime mixed up, and start laying out the base foundation for this stone wall. So yeah, these are the stones that come out of the wall. It looks a little bit too big. Yeah, there's a few there I can work with. So that's basically what we're aiming for. Put some ties going in that way as well into the wall, and then later on I'll continue this column up here to strengthen that bit up. I'm going to get some lime mixed up and we'll get this first course down. Yeah, so we've got two courses laid. What I'm gradually doing is stepping them back slightly so it's wider at the base, and then step it in at the top. That's the way these traditional buildings were made. Gives them strength. Going to backfill the void behind. Yeah, so I'm pleased with that. So it hasn't got to be a work of art, it's just got to be functional. And yeah, we'll give it a brush up when it's finished. If it looks too good, it wouldn't match, would it? That's my excuse. No, it doesn't need to be, like I say, perfect. Just needs to be functional, so that's what it will be. I'm going to have a scout around for some more stone now. Oh boy, that's getting warm. I'm going to take myself off and have a nice cool glass of water. Oh, that's better. Nice cool drink. Next stage. Going to damp down with a brush and water over the back there, and then the void that I've got there behind here. Going to put some steel work in, like I mentioned, some rubble, and backfill with some lime and some aggregate mixed up, so it binds that back wall to this wall here. It's like ice cream, this stuff. Okay. Steel rods now adjoin the two walls, which leaves a cavity in the middle. That I'm going to fill up very shortly with another mix. But before I get another mix going, I'd just like to thank everybody for all their support, the Patreons, the buy me a coffees, all the donations, all the kind comments. Thank you very much, Phil Harmonica, for purchasing, well, for being the first person to purchase something out of my new online shop. Welcome to SeansWorld.com. I'll continue to put in as many items as I can. Thank you very much for your sale, Phil. I will be sending you an animated e-card, so look out for that in your email. Right, let's get this mix knocked up. See you in the next video.